Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Tyranny. Last episode we finished clearing out this particular encampment of, well, all the guys who were raiding it, and yeah, managed to explore a little bit, sell a few of our items, level up, and move on. We also took a little bit of time, a lot of time, to speak with our new companion here, Verse. Oh, that was a long conversation and a long episode. But now that we know a lot more about her, we're ready to continue on. Also, I did go quickly into the options and made a slight change so I don't see that little notification in the conversation about which conversation options change reputation and how. Felt like maybe I shouldn't have. Anyway, let's move on. We have something to report in. We were at the Edgering Ruins, and now we're moving to Disfavored Camp. This fort was constructed shortly after routing rebels along the valley's western edge. The Archon, Graven Ash, directs all disfavored efforts from this location. Show map names? Actually could be useful. Yeah. 3 hours, 15 minutes. Accept. We have an edict to deliver. Spells are created. Interesting that they're created. Alright. What is that? I don't know. Take what you carry, but leave the cart. Otherwise we seize you and your wares. This is robbery! This is Kyros's law. Hail, Fatebinder! The disfavored scout nods at your approach. Camp's on up ahead. Don't mind us, just clearing out the rabble. I still don't understand what I've done to offend. I respect that these are now disfavored lands, and I'm happy to give the Legion a proper toll, but she's going on about trading rights. What nonsense is that? I'm not allowed to trade one thing for another. It's not like I'm selling weapons to angry peasants or anything of the sort. The Overlord regulates all trade. If you lack the proper permits, your goods are forfeit. A trade permit? Well, how was I mean, to whom would I speak for such a thing? Not us, and not our problem. Maybe march your butt to Bastard City and plead your case before Tunon, but we'll lighten your burden and relieve you of your wares first. That should make the long trek a bit more bearable. Anything to be argued before Tunon may be argued before me. What's there to discuss? We should kill this mongrel and... The warrior pauses, placing a hand in front of her mouth. If the Fatebinder wishes to weigh in on the matter, courtesy demands we listen. This is a disfavored matter, but I know the agents of the court do so love to throw their judgments around. Well, you could rob me now and have my supplies today. The merchant grabs a flask from his cart. Or you can leave me alive and have fermented honey all year long. I even know a few family recipes for painkillers and healing draughts. Certainly any army will need those. He uncorks a small ceramic vial, and the aroma of cloves and lanolin assaults your nose. What a coincidence. Your family recipe for wound paste smells just like the Scarlet Fury's own concoction. Where do you steal this? I don't... The merchant tenses up, his face flushing red. I don't know what you're getting at. Pick him up by the collar. How stupid do you think I am? Slow down! I'll tell you everything. Just don't hurt me. I found most everything out in the forests of the valley. I'd keep my head low when I heard sounds of combat, then I'd take a look and grab whatever wasn't claimed by the first victors. So then you stole from the disfavored dead? How else did you get your hands on that iron? The scout points at the merchant's cart. You would come here and sell us our own armaments? If anything has an owner, I will return it, but this iron would have turned to rust if left in mud on the battlefield. The disfavored are few in number, is that not right? You need a man like me to gather up supplies that would otherwise go to waste. Hmm. Well, we're not going to say trade your wares freely but lie again and have you killed, but I'm also not going to kill him outright. I'll say the disfavored will tolerate your presence, but you will pay them handsomely for such charity. We will. The disfavored soldier clears her throat with a cough before repeating herself in a more upbeat manner. We will. It sickens me to make exceptions for this vulture, but if you'll supply the disfavored without profit, perhaps this indiscretion is for the best. It's not like our larders are overflowing. A work slave to scrounge provisions would be an asset. Thank you for interceding on my behalf. I know my life will now depend on showing the disfavored due gratitude for suffering my presence. If I must grovel a bit to earn my daily grain, so be it. That seems the fairest option. Oh, look at that. Oh. Slow down a moment. I know we're both eager to watch the Archons bicker over tactics like a pair of magpies, but I need to ask you something first. What's that? The voices of Narat told me that you've come as a mediator. Considering the source, well, I can't help but fear I'm only hearing half the story. So let's have it out. What's so special about you? Did the voices of Narat ask you to spy on me? At a loss for words, Verse regards you with momentary unease. Well, are you even surprised? He's the Archon of Secrets. Knowing in advance is his business, so is snatching up any advantage over Graven Ash. Those two compete like a couple of new recruits for a spot around the fire. It's nothing nefarious. The Voices is just curious while you're here. If he wanted to know more, you wouldn't be able to suss it out that easily. He would have sent one of his scarier peons in my stead. What else has the Voices of Narat told you? Only that I could find you in Edgering Ruins. Truthfully, I could have picked you out of a crowd. You're the only one of us who hasn't spent the last few months bathing in the stink of the Matani River. Why so suspicious? It's just a feeling I got. When the Archons are together, the air gets as taut as a bowstring. I can't help but think that no amount of compromise will get them seeing eye to eye. So why invite a mediator from Tunon's court? It doesn't add up. I'm here to deliver an edict from Kairos. That makes a crazy kind of sense. Considering how long the siege has taxed the armies, I can understand why Kairos would send you with an edict to speed things along. Have you read it? Do you know what it says? The Archons must claim Ascension Hall by Kairos' Day of Swords, or all will perish. One more thing for the Archons to fight over. Well, thanks for cluing me in. If Kairos sends any lightning our way, just tell me when to duck. Why do you think the Archons are at odds? I've been with the Starlit Chorus since the early days of the Conquest, so I can say it's been building for a few years now. There's an energy about those two, like a pair of storms moving to collide. I heard tell that Graven Ash and the Voices of Narat shared some bad blood in the Northern Empire, but I don't know any of the particulars. That's absurd. By my authority, the Archons will fall in line. That sounds like exactly the attitude to set this campaign in the right direction. I don't envy you the task of getting them to cooperate, which sounds about as easy as teaching a tornado to heal. At least you sound like you know what you're doing. I really ought to be meeting with the Archons. The war tent is just past the center of the camp. She nods to the northeast. One last thing. Be careful around these disfavored types. They take their work seriously, and most have suffered too many blows to the head. And what's this? You have gained enough reputation to unlock a new ability. Open the Reputation UI by pressing R to see the new ability available to your character. Most factions have abilities your character can acquire as you build reputation with them. In order to acquire these abilities, you must build enough favor or wrath with the faction. Reputation abilities are only granted to your character, not to other party members. So, let's see. I believe it was with Verse here, and jeez, we got a lot of reputation there. Death from Above, a combo ability. Launch Verse into the air, allowing her to unleash a series of well-aimed arrows into the target from above. Each of these arrows strikes true and has armor penetration. Ooh. Alright, I'll take that.
No dice.
And we can't unlock that. Good to know. Can I speak with you more? Thank you for talking down the Disfavored from doing worse. Sad times we live in when making a humble living is branded a crime. So saving your hide was worth... Oh, well, naturally. Hagnon clears his throat, his face showing a flash of a scowl. One good deed deserves another. Well, when I have my shop up and running, I'll sell you provisions for a song and give you a proper bounty on any odd bits of weaponry you find. Provided that you keep standing up for me should those iron goons try to rough me up a second time. You were lucky with us before, merchant. Take care that you don't challenge your luck again. Agreed. The law is the law, after all. Nothing wrong with exploring around the camp first, before we go in. A humble grave lies before you. A battered sword has been used as a marker, the initial B deeply engraved in the iron.
A modest grave for the Archon's son, Brennix. We don't bother with funeral rites in the chorus. No point in thanking conscripts for their duty.
That's, okay. It appears to be the end over here, so let's go back around. I mean, sure, we can see things, but... we aren't actually in yet. Who do we have here? Step closer and present yourself. Sure, just a minute. Just taking a look over here. The wood used for these parapets is pristine and finely cut. These walls have yet to see any battle. The Disfavored insignia has been violently defaced. The gate guard holds up a warning hand. Go no farther. You approach Disfavored ground. State your business. I am Jason Pendragon, Fatebinder of Tunon. I bring words from Kairos, words for your commander's ears. Understood. His posture relaxes, his weapon lowering. On behalf of the Disfavored, I welcome you into our camp. The Archons are gathered in the war tent. Head straight through the gate. Thank you. We'll speak with others here, I suppose, first. Hail to you, guardian of the law! The man dressed in merchant finery greets you with a smile. If you have a few excess rings weighing you down, best unburden yourself before battle. You know that if the Disfavored suffer a merchant in their camp, that must be a man selling only the finest provisions and armaments. He points to his collection of shields, rations, satchels, wineskins, and other sundries. Take a look and see if something interests you. Does it ever make you uneasy, representing the South in an occupier's camp? It did, once. But that was before I got the measure of your patron Archon. Tunon speaks with fairness and wisdom. Unlike many of my countrymen, I was able to make this changing of the guard as comfortable as possible. A little treachery can be profitable, merchant. First jostles his wares playfully, sending him scrambling to retrieve them. He does his best to recover, unperturbed. Kairos is the right and proper authority of the realm, my lady. There's no treachery in that. In spite of his airs of confidence, he casts a worried glance out of the corner of his eye. How did you come to work with the Disfavored? Hard work and good suppliers. When Tunon's men came to my village, all the merchants were given different lists of what they were or weren't permitted to trade. He smiles, hand on hips. In Kairos' wisdom, my record must have been a good one, because I was given the right to trade in all manner of goods. Most importantly, arms. Not a lot of merchants can legally sell weapons. It was like that even before Kairos. Let me see your wares. Pentabor rubs his hands, eyes alight. Let's see if we can find something you might like. Bronze weapons, we don't need anything there. Cheese, fish, fruit, grain, beer, healing potion. Citadel of Frost, a core item. That might be useful if we want to learn spells. But we have enough, but I don't think we want them. Oh, that's what it is. It's copper rings, bronze rings, and iron rings. Ugh, don't need any of that. But thank you. And who are you? Got no time to chitter, too much armor to mend. Speak to Uncle Pentabor if you've things to trade. This cart is bursting with fresh food and useful goods. And here we have stone shield boots. Oh, it's something. Got someone here. These arrows were fletched with precision and care. You can't make out the ironclad soldier's expression under his twisted helmet. He merely stares at you. These spears are uniform in their quality craftsmanship. The sparring dummy shows the deep gouges of hard use. Imbued Rod of Strength. I'm guessing that's a magical type weapon. No thank you. I ain't a mage. Nobody here of note.
Sorry,
Really.
I can't.
Can't go over to that corner. Can't open that lock, but here's a person. Isotanis curses the air as a blade of thin iron breaks in half beneath his hammer. Repairing weapons with scrap isn't exactly why I got into this craft, but our supplies are spent. He wipes the sweat from his brow and gets a better look at you. Why not forge bronze? Bronze will do in a pinch, don't get me wrong. It can take a beating and get bent back into shape, unlike the stubborn iron we have here. He glances at a pile of his work with dread. We always have plenty of tin and copper lying around, so supplies aren't the problem. It's a rare smith who can churn out military-grade bronze consistently. More often than not, it comes out soft. Look around camp. We're garbing the Legion head to toe in iron because it's cheaper and easier to produce for the masses. Couldn't do that with bronze. They call the Disfavored the Iron Legion for a reason. Strategy and skill may be our backbone, but our claws are made of iron. The good stuff that comes from the smiths in Lethian's Crossing. You mentioned an iron shortage? I'm afraid so. The last shipment sent down the Matani went missing near Echo Call Crossing, and I'm afraid we won't be seeing any more now that the valley is sealed. Forge-bound iron is Tunon's responsibility. Why is this the first I'm hearing of it? Keep your voice down. Isotanis flinches and lowers his own. Graven Ash doesn't want to cause a panic or pass any information to the Vendrian Guard. Best case scenario, the iron tumbled off a boat and is rusting on a riverbed. Worst case, it ends up in enemy hands. If I find myself in Echo Call, I suppose I can keep an eye out. I appreciate that, as does the great general. More than you might guess. Maybe he isn't quick to offer his thanks to outsiders, but I know he'll be grateful for your help. It would be a boon to the war effort if our iron was recovered. You can trust me to handle this. I knew that Tunon wouldn't have dispatched you without good reason. The court isn't exactly known for gambling when the stakes are high. He glances to a crate beside him and points to a small set of notches on the wood. You see that? That is how we tell apart our iron shipments from the rest. Inconspicuous so people don't go snooping around. You'll want to keep your eye out for these. Good hunting. Need something else? Oh, I can see his wares. Ooh. Some nice armor here. I think we can probably sell the stone shield boots. And definitely the imbued rod of strength. Oh, I didn't realize I had that. Anyway, trade those away. Well, we can compare items. Ah, no, not worth it. Lower armor and everything. These oath-bound items, though... And the stone shield, that would actually be very good. Sadly, I can't really afford it. Oh well. Fresh straw in the corner of this prison cell absorbs much of the stench. The Oathbreakers already had their chance. No use in wasting cell space on traitors of Kairos. Don't mind me, I'm just watching the troops. Oh, we could actually get into this one. Ah, better bronze sword. Bronze throwing dagger, and a lesser sigil of strength. Okay, I'll take this better bronze sword, without a doubt. So who are you? Glory to the voices of Narat! Projecting his salutation for all to hear, the grinning blood chanter raps his staff against the ground as you approach. Fatebinder Jason Pendragon, I presume? His smile quickly retreats, giving way to a sour scowl. I am Bitter Quip. I am here as the emissary of the Scarlet Chorus. Bitter Quip looks at you impatiently. What is it like working with the Disfavored? He scoffs, looking away from you for a moment before sniffing and returning his attention to you. Reporting to the Iron Hag is an insult. She fought one duel for her title. One? Her leadership must be continuously proven, earned, and defended. Weakness should bleed to the bottom of the army, not rise to the top. My assignment here is also an insult, but one I will bear for the good of the chorus. Bitter Quip sniffs the air, smiling with one side of his mouth. If only to see with my own eyes the failure of the Disfavored. That will be a fine day. What can you tell me of the Scarlet Chorus? The chorus is the future of the Tears. I feel only derision and pity for those who fear our inevitable ascension. What in particular would you like to know? Tell me about the voices of Narat. He is Supreme Commander and Public Servant. He who sets us free but directs all. Bitter Quip smiles as he talks, his face turning flush. The voices of Narat is the epitome of what each of us can be. A magician without equal, and the leader of uncountable numbers. The voices and the chorus are one. Conquering, expanding, growing, changing, always stronger. Bitter Quip pounds his staff on the ground. Glory to the voices! How did you come to join the Scarlet Chorus? The doctrine of strength speaks to me, and I answered its call, as did some of my arcane peers. I took to the chorus almost instantly. Unlike most, I cried not for the life of comfort lost to me. My magic invokes fear and terror, and I easily established my dominance over a pack in my early days in the chorus. If you're so curious about it all, perhaps you should visit our camp and see for yourself. What is your role in the chorus? I am a blood chanter. My magic can turn the will of man in the tide of battle. I have held command for 3 years now, though being forced to keep an eye on the Disfavored is not the reward I had envisioned for my service thus far. Sounds as if you really like the voices of Narat. Bitter Quip blinks several times and scowls, saying nothing. That's all for now. Bitter Quip nods as you depart. Okay. Hey, another
That wasn't so hard.
Not gonna use a spear, the boots. Not really much of a change. What's in there? What we got here? Carefully skinned game hang from this branch. They appear sickly and malnourished. The table is lined with various medicinal herbs. It would appear that they have been carefully rationed.
Sorry,
Something
I can't.
Up here in the corner. Maybe not. Lucia
Can't do that.
and Marcus.
Sorry, I can't.
Well, we're kind of at the end here. There's Ash's tent. Let's go speak with this Lucia and Marcus, I suppose. Oh, okay, I see. It must be very tiny to you, but this symbol down here, that is loot indicators. That's useful. Enemy indicators, exits, points of interest, key characters. Okay, now I understand. A meager portion of game simmers in a large copper pot. Fragrant spices attempt to mask the potent smell of whatever creature they've decided to cook. And we have water and fish. Okay. Now, who are these two? Lucia and Marcus. I am Lucia. This is Marcus. The disfavored soldier points to the armored man next to her. And you must be the Fatebinder. From under her helmet you hear an audible scoff. We've been assigned to babies. Assigned to your hospitality, Marcus quickly injects, while you remain on disfavored ground. If you should need a place to rest, we can make the necessary preparations. What can we do for you? Soldier, pitfighter, hunter can't do any of those. Marcus, tell me about yourself. Not sure there's much to tell you. I trained at Fort Resolution. This is my first campaign, and I'm proud to be with the Legion. I was wounded at the Gates of Judgment, but Graven Ash's protection mended me good. I owe my life to him. Are you bragging that you let your guard down and took a spear to the gut? You really shouldn't boast about a filthy tearsman besting you in battle. Lucia rolls her eyes. You're just bitter that Lord Ash never seems to notice you. In all seriousness, I would take that spear again if it brought honor to the disfavored. Kairos knows we could use it. We are the elite fighters of the Northern Army, but somehow we still lack the Overlord's confidence. Lucia, tell me about yourself. I do this. She unenthusiastically lifts up her heavy shield. And I do this. She mockingly stabs at the air with her spear. Playing host is not my strong suit. Ignore my sarcasm. I've seen the Legion through my share of the campaign. After so much bloodshed, our pretenses of honor can wear me down. She turns a cautious eye your way. The North is my home, and I consider each and every one of the ironclad bastards in this camp to be family. You won't find another army where each member of the flanks is as beloved and cherished as the next. You seem handy with a weapon, Lucia. Aye, and if you ever want some pointers on how to use that weapon of yours, just let me know. She winks. Lucia, are you flirting with Tunon's Fatebinder? Relax, Marcus. There are plenty of camp slaves if I ever need to scratch an itch. Although... Through the visors of her helm, you notice Lucia's eyes roving up and down your body. If you ever need someone to warm your bedroll, let me know. I sleep in my armor. I hope you don't mind. No, thank you. How have your skills fared in battle against the Oathbreakers, Marcus? Every battle is a reminder of the Legion's superiority. The Oathbreakers have plenty of heart, but nothing to beat our northern values and Graven Ash's love. If you ever want to enjoy that feeling, I can spare you the time of day to cross iron. What's it like serving with the Disfavored? In spite of our name, the Legion commands more honor than any military on the face of Tyrantus. Unlike the Chorus, there is tradition, discipline, teamwork, and unity of purpose. Marcus looks out across the camp. There aren't many of us, but it's better that way. We're a tightly knit family bound together by trust and glory. Accurate enough, Lucia shrugs. After seeing the disunity and bickering of the younger realm defenders, I feel lucky to be in the most agreeable legion of Kairos' host, even if we're not always the most efficient. If the Legion boasts so much honor, why are they disfavored? I'm afraid that isn't for me to say. Others around the camp might be able to tell you more, but I don't freely discuss the great general's history to outsiders. But you'll say that it involves a great general, which is already a telling clue, idiot. Drat. At least the Iron Marshal isn't within earshot, or I'd be washing my mouth out with wormwood. Marcus, I'd like some training. Of course, Fatebinder! Marcus pounds his fist on his armor in salute. Oh! Oh, that's nice! For a bit of money, we can train, which actually improves our level in some of these. What if we, well, if it isn't the Fatebinder, what can we do for you? What about Lucia? One-handed weapons, dodge, and athletics. Okay. So, ranks trainable at this level 10. So, let's just train and dodge once, see what it adds. It brought us up to the max. If we do it again, okay. So I shouldn't have done that because I was almost a level up anyway. Well, we should probably give a rest. Yes, let's rest for 8 hours, get rid of that. And now, all that remains... The Archons await you inside, Fatebinder. Oh, hidden objects. Oh!
Curious.
You have discovered a hidden object. Many areas of Tyranny have hidden traps or chests. When discovered, these objects will highlight for all of your party to see. Enable scouting mode by pressing left alt to make finding these hidden objects
Moving
easy.
cautiously.
Stealth. Scouting mode is used both for stealth and for finding hidden objects like traps or secret containers. Scouting, your character selection circle will start to fill yellow when a hostile character is starting to detect you. Once it fills yellow, the character is suspicious and will move to investigate. While the circle fills red, the circle becomes fully red, your character will be discovered. Okay, well, we have some items here. Okay, and I am going to end this episode here because it has gone on about long enough. Next episode, we go in to speak with the Archon and deliver our edict. Something important that must be done. But that'll be in the next episode. So until then, I'm Chester44. That is Jason Pendragon and Verse. This has been a Let's Play of Tyranny. And I shall see you all